Right then, I've been to the tip yet again, and I don't know why lately, but there seems to be a spike in twin turbos at the tip. I've no idea why, but recently there seems to be absolutely loads of them there. So today is nothing different. I have brought back another twin turbo. It's a bit battered, but you know, they all are. I'm not going to lie to you. It's had a working life. Um, yeah, so there's a few things wrong with it, which I want to put right now. I've not had the bag out. I've had a look inside the bag, and it is chock a block. It honestly, this machine is so heavy to pick up. Obviously, I know you can't tell that on camera, but if you were to pick it up, you'd think there were two house bricks inside. It weighs an absolute ton. I don't know how you can let your bag get that full. Um, there we go. There's another plug because the plug is completely smashed. Cable grommets because they came up for sale on eBay the other day, and so I bought two of them because you can't buy them anymore anywhere else. And I've got a few twin turbos that need one, and a pattern copy filter set, but you know it does just the same job as the original, so I'm not bothered. Oh yeah, and a paper bag. I don't buy genuine bags for my machines, as I'm not going to lie. I think they're a waste of money, so I just use these paper pattern ones. It's a sealed bottom one. You can get the open ended ones, but you know, I don't think that machine has the bag slide with it. Saying that, I've not checked, have I? But yeah, so here it is. I'll show you around here. It's got a bit of tape or something anyway around there, and if I peel that away, you can see the grommet there. It's just completely come away and ripped off, so that's why I wanted to put a new grommet on it. And that's obviously, well, somebody at some point has put tape around it there. Whether that's to cover that up, the damage, that's the only thing I can think of. There's no other reason why you would want to put tape like that around the thing of it. Oops. Load of sticky stuff that. Ugh, weird. Right. We'll chuck that there. Yeah, with all this Ebola virus and well, it's not that. What is it? The coronavirus. Yeah, it's. I've thought, right. Well, you know, they want to try and quarantine everyone now, don't they? So I've thought, well, I'll use the time to get some vacuums done because obviously I won't be going the tip anymore for the considerable future until the coronavirus is gone. So found a nice offcut of carpet, this lovely blue patterned carpet, and I thought, well, I'll roll that out and do a bit of vacuum work on it. So here's one of the machines. So it's Twin Turbo 2 Super, so it's one of the very late ones. God, the weight of it's amazing. It is, what model have we got here? Bloody hell, go on, there we go. Z1055. So it's towards the end of the lineup, quite a basic machine really. It does have a bag full indicator there, that's one of the only features of it. Yeah, I'll show you the plug. This has been smashed. When the lady was going to throw this in the skip, I actually stopped her. So when I say I got this from the tip, I did. I got it from the tip site, but I didn't have to pull it out the skip because I saw the lady going to chuck it in, and I thought, no, I'll have that. So I said to her, I'll take the Electrolux. And she said to me, oh, we've had this since new. I got it as a wedding gift. And I thought, oh, lovely. She said, my husband doesn't know how to rewire the plug. And the plug is smashed. You can see there, it's a Volex plug. It's been taped up. She said he doesn't know how to rewire the plug and it's wearing out a bit, so we've bought a new one. Yeah, she said, since it was my wedding present, I'm glad somebody's going to have it and it's not going to be thrown in the skip. Thought that was nice. Yeah, so I can't remember how much these were new. I don't think they were that expensive. When my mother got married, one of her presents was a Dyson DC01, and that probably cost 3 times as much as this poor lady's wedding present, an Electrolux twin turbo. This probably only cost about 60 quid, 70 quid or something when it was new. But there we have it. You buy what you can afford. Anyway, these are 10 times better than the DC01, aren't they? So I'm not complaining. Yeah, right, well, first off, we're going to take this bloody heavy bag out. It's weighs loads. Why have I done that first? I'll take this off first. Move the swivel cord hook down. Get rid of the wire. And open it up. You can see in there it's, you know, it is absolutely... Oh, it's sort of falling off all the dust. It's full to the very, very brim. And I don't know why. But, you know, she's obviously had this a long time, because as I said, she said it was... Look at that. She said it was her wedding present. The bag's going to tear. I can feel it tearing. And you think, well, if you'd had this since your wedding, you'd look after it a bit more, wouldn't you? You wouldn't let your bag fill up like that. You don't want it to tear. There we go. No, missing bag slide, and no, honestly, it is completely... Oh, you can see it coming out, can't you? The weight in that is unreal. So we'll put that... Oh God, it's coming all out now. Dust. Right. We'll put that to a side. We'll just move you to stop this, because the carpet seems to be all going. It's got rolls in it now, making the tripod wobble. So we'll put you back there, as you were. And we'll put a new filter in it now, because these will be... Yeah, we should test it first, shouldn't we? She said it worked. She said it worked, but we'll plug it in just to make sure before I go making it better again and it doesn't work. So I'll be careful plugging it in, because obviously we've seen the state of that plug. It's off at the machine. There we go. Oh. Well, it's a bloody good thing you didn't rush into it then, isn't it? It doesn't work. Or is it a loose... I bet it's a loose connection, isn't it, with that grommet? Yeah. Oh, it does work. And thought it'd be something round there. Brushes are turning anyway. Brushes are turning. The brush strips are quite good. God, why is this carpet rumpling up like that? There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell on there, the brush strips. They are very good anyway. They've got a lot of length to them. So they are absolutely fine. We shall be doing nothing with that. The belt's good, as you saw. I put my hand on and it didn't stop. It turns nicely as well. So there we go. I think really the whole thing's just mucky. And we know anyway now that it does work. I just thought to test it. It's obviously got a loose connection. You can tell better now I've took out the took that plastic wrap off from around it. You can see the wire has just totally gone. Well, the grommet has anyway. Yeah. So that's one of the jobs we have to do to it. We'll do that first, because it's going to be... That's probably going to be the most significant thing I've got to do here. So let's see. I'll bring you down a bit, so you're a bit closer and you'll be able to tell what I'm doing a bit better then. I used to try and just hold the camera in my hand, but I found this tripod and thought I'd make use of it. See if I can get any better angles so people can see what I'm doing. Oh, that's better, isn't it? You can tell now. Right. Bloody hell, I forgot to unplug it. That is a must. Don't really want to go unscrewing anything to do there without it unplugged. So there we go. That would get a new plug as well. The plug I've chosen is... What's that? That's a Volex. Oh, they're both Volex. I've chose this because it's got sleeves on the pins, because this would be from a time when that was compulsory. And it's an alright British plug, you know. It's not the same plastic as that. That's better quality, but, you know, there you go. Right, so new grommet. It's exactly the same as the old grommet, which is nice, so you won't be able to tell we've done any work to it. Just stopping the carpet rippling up again. Right, so what we will do first is we'll open this. Feel a bit pressured now doing it all on camera. That's another thing I'll point out. It's not one of the it's late, but it's not one of the very, very late ones, because the very, very late ones do not have that little decorative feature there, and they don't have a switch that says on off printed onto the plastic. They just have a little switch, same switch really, it just says on it though on off. It's got marked on in white. It doesn't have that. I think it does say Electrolux there. Anyway, I've got to repair a very late one, so you can have a look at that then. This is, I think this is one of the last models, but it isn't the last model. Yeah, did I show you the ratings plate? I don't want to keep taking it on and off the tripod though, but it is hard to do. If you can see this, you can see it. If you can't, you can't see that, can you? Never mind. I'll try to get it on as best. I'll read it out to you later. Oh, it nearly focused then, didn't it? I think you might just be able to see that. Here as well, these internal hoses, they always go. This one has no holes in it. They always start to fail and they get cracks and holes in, which reduces suction at the cleaner head. But we don't, you know, it is just, I can just see it starting to fray slightly, but it's still airtight and there's a good 10 years left in that probably. So, we will have a look at this thing. I keep getting distracted now. Need to do that, don't we? So, undoing the bag latch and turning down the handle. You can see 2 screws here. I hope this is all on camera. I'm trying my best, so persevere. And I got this from Aldi the other day and I thought it was absolutely great. It's a load of screwdrivers and a big thing, and it cost me, I think, 12 quid or something. So I'm using this for now. I've left my toolbox in the shed outside. I'm using this. So, I remember though, this part can be a bit delicate because you have to take out... Oh, we need to put a donut round there. Well, I've not got one of them at hand, so we'll have to do that another time. You take these 2 screws out. Yeah. Put them in a safe place. Chuck them on there for now. I know lots of people like put them in little boxes and that. I just thrown them on the carpet amazingly. I know where they go anyway. We're not completely taking it apart. Right, which lets this happen. That is loose. Now what you can't do, or you know, you've got to try and do it without swearing, is here there are 2 little plastic clips which hold the other side of this thing in. If it was up to me and I worked for Electrolux, I would have had screw, 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 screw. But they've not done that. They've put screw there and screw there, which we've undone. But you've still got these 2 in here that aren't screws. They're like little plastic tabs. So you've got to be very careful when you pull this piece up, because if you do it wrong, you'll snap the tabs and then it'll be floppy. And we don't want it floppy. So I usually prise it up like this. It's a horrible thing to do. Yeah, you can just see through. Right, I'm going to get a flathead. Big flathead, biggest flathead, and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to hope it doesn't break it when I... No. It's very awkward this, but you know, it's real life, isn't it? Nothing ever goes to plan, does it? Not when you're on camera anyway. If I was doing this without being recorded, it would probably take me about 2 minutes. If you push through these tabs, I'll show you when I've got it off anyway, but until then. And I don't like editing my videos, as I've said before, because A, I don't bloody know how, and B, it's not real life, is it? You need to see the whole thing and how painfully long it takes. Right. I've done about 5 of these 500 series cleaners lately, so you'd think I'd have a knack by now, wouldn't you? Well, I do have a knack, but you can't really see. You can just see me waving this screwdriver around, can't you? technically this machine isn't 500 series, is it? Though it's a, what was it? I can't remember. Z1055. So it's got the same mould in there as the 500 series. You see, you've got to take your time with this as well, because when you get impatient, that's when things start cracking and snapping, which we don't want. I can't get it to go, honestly. There is a technique that I clearly don't have anymore. But like I said, I've done loads of these lately, so you'd think by now I'd be better. You see, if I just yank that off, it will snap. It'll go brittle and snap. So you can't do that. There we go. I knew I'd get it. That comes off. And there we have it. Bit of sponge there. That's starting to decompose. Lovely. Not decompose, just, well, disintegrate. So there we have that. Then inside here is where you've got all your lovely little wires. See if you can see that any better. There they all are in there. I'm trying to get the angle best so you can all see what I'm doing. That's probably best, I think. Or like that. We'll have it like that for now. I've wrapped that all the way around it now. Where does that come from? There we go. Okay. So yeah, as well, another thing to point out, this style of machine does have a very odd way for emptying the bag. Most machines at the time just have a bag door, as you know. But Electrolux decided to do it differently, and they've put the whole top of the cleaner just on hinges. It's quite good, really. Good design. I do like top fill bags because you can really fill them up and the muck fall to the bottom. I just think it's a good system that works better. Right. God, the carpet's rumpling up again. There we go. Right. Now, as I said, I'm using these things I got from Aldi, so this isn't these aren't out of my toolbox, so you'll have to bear with me whilst I find a terminal screwdriver, or one that will fit anyway. That'll be alright. So what we're going to do now is take the cable off. Where's that from? Well, that goes in there, doesn't it? That goes down the spine of the cleaner. Open this one up, and there's a little clamp here, and you have to unscrew this clamp. Keep the screw and clamp safe because you will need that in a minute. Oh yeah, and you can see there why this machine was running intermittently. I'll lift you up again so you can see, or lift the cleaner up even. So one of the wires, can you see? Yeah, one's just see anyway, can't you? Well, you can't see any better than this. I'll pull it out. There you go. One of the wires had completely come out of the terminal block, and that's why when I moved the cleaner, it came on intermittently, because it was just hanging on in there. It was just pushing in, obviously. When I moved it right, it'd make contact. And the blue one's not horrendously tight. Where's my terminal gone? There it is. Right. So we can take that out now. And we've got there's the other half of the grommet. It's weird, really, because some of these grommets that I see on the twin turbo series, the grommet is either completely knackered and a split, as this one has, or it's in perfect, immaculate condition. You never get an in-between, which is a bit strange, but there you go. Just one of life's wonders, I suppose. Although not many people probably wonder about that. Not many people probably sit there and say, I wonder why the grommet hasn't split on my 500 series. Yeah, so there you go anyway. So we'll put, no, we won't put that there because then I'll get confused and probably try to fit it again. We'll put it over there. Right, so now we've got a terminal block here with a brown and a blue, very simple. It's the more expensive machines that have the variable speed and all that. You get machines like that where the wiring gets a bit more complicated, like the Turbo Power 2 AutoSense or Turbo Power 1000, whatever Hoover called it. That, with its AutoSense module, gets a bit more complicated. Or the series above this, the Electrolux 600 series, that had variable speed on most of the models, I think, if not all. So the wiring was a bit more complicated. For a simple vacuum with on-off like this, it really is basic. It's as basic as you can get. So we've just got a terminal block there. So what are we doing now? Where was I at? Yeah, right. So I think the cable's original. It matches the fonts on the cleaner, all the writing, and it matches that as well, the internal wire. So I'm guessing it's original. We don't need to strip that because they're both perfect already, which is brilliant. What we need to do... Why is the carpet rippling up? Stupid. The one video that I do use a tripod. Anyway. Yeah, there's the new Grommet. I'll just compare the new and old so you can see the well, you can see the damage anyway, can't you? Because it's ripped. So yeah, now I have to work out. It has to go that way because that part goes through there. So I do it like this. Right, got it. So threading the wires through. Obviously, if this cable, you know, if these ends weren't stripped and it was just like that, you could strip the ends afterwards to make it a little more easier. But because these are stripped already, I'm just going to push them through like this, one at a time. And you've got to sort of feed them through until they come out the other end like that. And this part can be a bit tricky. It gets a bit easier after 5 minutes when you've heated the grommet up. The warmer it gets with you messing with it with your fingers like that, the rubber becomes more flexible and it's easier to push through. If these are really cold, which this one isn't because I've had it inside overnight. I took this out my shed yesterday for the reason of what I'm saying. If they're cold, it's a nightmare to get the cable through. When they're warm and they become flexible, it's a bit more easy. Just the way the rubber is. So I've got that through, as you can see. So now I have to ease through the outer insulation of the mains cable. And once you get the outer insulation come through here, the whole thing becomes easier then. Once you've got the thing properly on, you can just feed it into the plastic body of the cleaner and it'll be all right. It's funny really, some cleaners it's dead easy to replace the cable. Uh-oh, didn't notice that. See that crack in there? Shh, don't say anything. Some cleaners like the Hoover Pure Power, it's really easy to replace the cable. And other cleaners like this Electrolux, it's not. Which is funny really, because they're both from the same time. You wouldn't think I knew what I was doing, would you? Come on. It's nearly through now. Yeah, you can just see there the outer insulation, which is exactly what we want. Like I said, you do have to just keep moving it round in your hands. There we go. That's brilliant. That's what we want. We want it like that. So you've got plenty of flex on the other side and plenty of the two internal wires there. That's probably about the right length for what you want, and if it's not, you can pull or push more through. So going back to the cleaner, we have said hole, finger in the hole there, and you want to push the wires through, back through this hole here. Like so. Now, another hard job is getting the grommet into the hole as well. That takes a lot of time. So, depending on how long this takes, because this could be half an hour, because it's a bloody nightmare to do. I'll do a part 2 to this video, but I will show you for 5 minutes what you've got to do. Well, you get the idea. You've got to try and push the lip of the grommet through the hole. Sometimes made easier by, again, the use of a flathead screwdriver, but what you don't want to do is pierce the lip of the grommet, because then you've just broke the grommet in effect. And as I said, a cable replacement on one of these cleaners, it is doable, obviously, but it's not one of the easiest of jobs at all. Sorry if I'm in your way, but I'm trying to get a good angle on it. Once you've got it through, it becomes easy after that, because you just have to put the wires in the terminal block. Go on. Again, it's not easy, but it is easier once the rubber grommet is warmed up slightly from your fingers. Which again is another reason why I brought it in last night from the shed and didn't leave it out during the day, because then it'd be cold, and doing this would probably snap it if it was cold. Might be easier for me to try this with it up. I've sort of got it half in there. I mean, there's different ways people do things. I mean, you can, one of the other ways is put the grommet in first without putting the cable in, and then push the cable through once the grommet's in. But I never liked that, because I used to spend, well, not years, but I used to spend hours trying to push the cable through there, and I always found it easier to put the cable through the grommet, then put the whole thing through, and not just the grommet on its own first. Oh, I think I've got it. Yes, quite. So there we go. The grommet is now installed. So if we turn the machine round, open the back again, you can see there that the lip of the grommet is through the hole. There we go, you can see now in the light, so that is in there properly. So we can take our terminal block, put our wires in it. Where's my thing gone? There it is. I don't quite know how the lives come out, because the screw is all the way down in the terminal block. There we go. Like I said though, everyone's got different methods. Some other repair people like to put the that's in properly, yeah. Like to put the grommet in on its own first, because it is easier to push through the hole, as it's going to be, because there's nothing inside. There's no cable inside it. And then push the cable through once the grommet is in the hole. But I don't like doing that, as I said, because it takes far too long for me to push the cable through then. No, that one's not in properly. I have to undo it. Give them a proper twist. I don't know what Electrolux used to do in the factory when these were made in England. Whether they used to put the empty grommet through or put the cable through first or what, I don't know. Don't know what's happened to the Electrolux name altogether. It seems to have disappeared, doesn't it? Right, okay. That's through. So I'm going to just push a bit of the cable out like that. That's brilliant. Right. Now, getting your screw and clamp. You're going to put the clamp back now. Using the wrong screwdriver there, aren't I? There we go. Don't over tighten it though, because it is just one little plastic pillar that the clamp sits on. You don't want to break that, because then your cable will come out too easily. So tight, but not too tight, as we have just got the perfect balance of there. So your cable is now fitted anyway. So what you want to do is push your terminal block back in the hole where it's come from. There we go. And that just sits loose in there.